No, I did not know that it was going to be a dance hit. Hi, I'm Alison Limerick, and this is the story of We're Loveless. I was born in Stepney, East End, when I was 11, 12, as I discovered dancing. So I then went on to train to dance. Did my A-levels in Stepney, then went on to a dance school, London School of Contemporary Dance. So I was destined to perform fairly young. I joined a dance company that paid me very little money. And then I joined another dance company that paid me very little money. And so you find that you have to supplement with whatever anyone comes at you with. I started going out with a jazz musician, so started doing, duos in pubs and clubs. Then I started auditioning for musicals. Once you're in the community, there are kind of ways to get into the next one. So I was really in the dancers community. But once you start singing, somebody will recommend you, or you meet someone who's looking for, and you go, yeah, I'll do it. I never said no to anything. I've done some weird shit. That led to me doing an avant-garde fashion show with people like Judy Blame and all the enfants terribles at the ICA Theatre. In the audience at the ICA was Lati Cronland, who wrote Where Love Lives, was in the late 80s. And apparently what he said to himself was, I have to work with her. So we did some demos, 3 or 4 songs, and then he just disappeared because he lived in Sweden at the time. About 2 years later, Lati came back and was like, I've got these songs, do you want to demo them? One of them was Where Love Lives. No idea what it would do later. No, I did not know that it was going to be a dance hit. No, I did not know it would, nearly 40 years later, it would still be doing the rounds. No, I did not know. I had fun singing it. We had fun kind of creating it. Everything was more or less there. That piano hook that everybody loves and thinks is Frankie's, that was Lati's. I don't know what had inspired the song. I'm sure it would have been something very personal because he often writes from, experiences and what is in his head. That he's very good at that. For me, it's about coming correct in any relationship, in any situation. Say what you mean what you say. Don't be, trying to put somebody else into a box to make you feel better. At its core, it's a love song. It was great, it was fun, and then he disappeared because I'm like, okay, not a problem. And then I re-signed a year contract with Starlight Express. And then I got a phone call from Chris Cook at Arista saying that they wanted to sign me. I think they delayed it the first time because Frankie Knuckles had heard it. He said, I'm going to remix it. And so nobody says no to Frankie. That delayed it. And I left Starlight Express, did my last show in October maybe. And I did my first show in Tottenham in November. The timing couldn't have been better. That first show in Tottenham, they put a podium in the middle of the dance floor. Mic, no lead, so I was miming. And they stood me on the podium amidst not a full club. The track started playing, I started singing along, and the people around me would go, literally, what is she doing? I get off stage, and I'm like, I'm used to theatre, seats, proscenium, people paying attention. This is wrong. So the next thing I did, I went to my record label, was like, I'm never going on the stage on my own again, because at least if I've got some dancers with me, we can play off each other. So 2 of the girls that had just left Starlight, we choreographed the one song, as you do, and then we were told that we were going up to do a Southport Weekender. I'm expecting the same reaction because it's only a couple of months later. The crowd went mental. What? Excuse me? That threw me entirely because everybody in that hangar of a venue knew it. I don't know how it had happened that fast. We had Pete Tong had played it on his late night, and Frankie was playing it everywhere because Frankie. And it had gone over big in all the gay clubs, and gay clubs were massive back then, and they had embraced it like no one else had. And it was just suddenly everywhere. Top of the Pops, one, you're on national television, it's terrifying. That first time I did it, mime. I am that singer, I've always performed live, so I've always allowed myself to do it differently every time. So I had to go learn my song with my two dancers, and they dressed me in outlandish metal nonsense. It's a weird, because there's not an audience, or it's a paid audience, and they're kind of small and they shepherd them around. But I'm a performer. I've been doing it since I was 13. So you weird or not, audience or not, you put on your big girl panties and you go. I was on Top of the Pops 3 times when Make It My Own came out. That would have been 92. And then the last time was in 96 when Arista re-released Where Love Lives. Not as much fun as doing a Southport Weekender. Not as much fun as doing Zap Club or doing Heaven or doing any of the clubs where you get to have an audience that are there, if not to see you, but there to enjoy that kind of music, to be fully committed to dance. And back in the day, I'm sorry, my darlings, but back in the day, people went out to dance and get sweaty and get drippy just to go out and enjoy themselves because no one was watching. Now everybody's watching or has the potential to watch. And so people are less willing to just cut shapes. Somebody suggested that maybe there should be a video, but there was no budget because it's dance music. Nobody puts money into dance music. So to keep the budget low, the guy that commissioned decided, I can do that. Zero budget for clothing. So what is worn by me and my dancers, and they're all my mates, are what I had purchased to go perform live in. They had employed a musician or somebody, a model probably, to play the piano. When he arrived, apparently he couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Latty was in the room, and so the geezer playing with all that's Latty Crumland, although he never gets the credit because he shouldn't have been there. I didn't know about 2003. I was told about 2003 when somebody said, I just bought your re-release. I was like, what? So? There's 2 mixes in this, and I had to buy my own CD of the re-release of Where Love Lives. I had to buy it myself because I got dropped in 94. So 94, 96, it came out because Arista decided to do a best of. That was fine. That was great. I mean, I did more TV in 96 than I did back in 1991. At least once a month, usually 3 times a month, I'm out doing a show somewhere in the country. I worked so much in Europe. Just Ibiza, Mallorca, all the Greek places, all the Spanish places. Going out at whatever the sunset show was. Staying out, getting and dancing and doing the 9 o'clock morning club, and then kind of falling asleep at some time and sleeping until 4 and then starting again for a week. Mad. So I had to do what Frankie Knuckles used to call a disco nap. So you'd get up at a normal time, and then at 6 o'clock you'd just go, we're going to bed at 6 o'clock. And it's really hard when you're in your beat and everybody else is just partying, and you go to bed and you have 2 hours, 3 hours, and you get them, then you start your day again, because otherwise the voice is just not going to function. By the time I was told, the advert had been made, because I was like, oh, am I going to be in it? No, it's made. Okay. So it was made, and they said, well, we'd love you to just come and do some live promotion around the event. I knew 4 months before it went live and couldn't tell anybody. Now, I work with Letty Cronland in his band, and we were on tour all summer. He knew. I knew. I knew that he must know, but I didn't know whether he knew that I knew. So we didn't say anything to each other. The first time I saw it was, I was in John Lewis' styling room, and they asked me what I thought of it, and I was like, I haven't seen it. Somebody found a laptop and then brought it in and shooed everybody out of the room, and then they played it to me. And I had a little bit of a whippet. That transition and the moment that the father's in the club and it empties and it's just him and his son, just they nailed that emotional moment just perfectly. I am yet to be bored by doing it. The thing is, these days, I'm getting to do it in every which way. Singing is the thing that makes me happy. It's the thing that gets me out of a grump. It's the thing that cheers me up. It's the thing that makes me sad, which makes me happy. Anything music has the power to connect to emotion. And that song is my baby.